Welcome back to Walsh World. Mom, you didn't send me a message for a whole week, and then the first thing you sent me was about P. Diddy.
That is up, man.
How did you know that she didn't send you something for a whole week? Do you keep tabs like that?
No, just like I haven't heard from
I don't want to talk about P. Diddy.
They sent me. Yeah, I'm just saying, mom and dad just send TikTok clips.
Yeah, I know. Let me just tell you,
you and dad consume TikTok more than any kid I know.
Okay, this P. Diddy thing is the biggest. This is huge.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, we need to get into it. We're not.
Sick fuck.
Yeah, but
I'm not dedicating my time to talking about that.
I know when I was watching it, I was thinking of Kennedy, thinking like, oh my God, if she was watching this right now, she'd be.
No, that thing was on whatever it's on Hulu, Netflix, I don't know. And Jesse was like about to click on it. I was like, I'm not watching that.
Yeah, I watched something from TMZ. It was.
Sorry, it makes me literally feel sick. Same with the Menendez Brothers case. I started watching. We got pretty deep into that show. And I was like, this is so incredibly sickening because obviously their story is true, but also this happens so often to people that like no one ever finds out or they never get to speak out about it.
Oh,
have you guys
no, you haven't.
Nickelodeon documentary?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not very aware.
We haven't what?
I've been listening to, as you guys know, the only podcast I really listen to is Stephanie Sue's Rotten Mango podcast, where she talks about some very gruesome true crime cases. And some of them literally have made me like feel so sick that I have to turn them off. And I have like a pretty high tolerance for stuff like that. But they're like, human beings are some sick, vile creatures.
It's basically this case about these two brothers who shot their parents like a million times with a shotgun in their living room. Like they made this whole plan basically to go buy these guns. They went to their house, they walked in and they both just like shot and killed them. I think they shot them like 15 times. I don't know. Something
when was
like
this?
That. It was like back then. I want to say it was like at least 20 years or something ago.
Yeah, I kind of remember something like that.
Anyway, basically it's like a show about the entire trial. And I don't know exactly like how accurate it all is because it is a show that is like a recreation of it. But it basically comes out once they get like a really good attorney that their dad was sexually abusing them their entire childhood up until adults, like brutally, not just like, I mean, obviously no sexual abuse it's all fucking horrible and traumatizing, but like it was awful. Like the things that they said and talked about that he did to them, and he would make them believe that that was like how to be tough, and that makes you like one of like a real Menendez, like if you can do this and whatever.
Menendez, the Menendez brothers. I remember the whole trial.
Would use like objects on them, and they were just like, they got to a point when they got older, and like their mom was terrible too. She knew it was happening, and one of the brothers in like the actual case, I think he said something like he told his mom like, tell dad to stop touching me, like I don't want to do this anymore or whatever, and she was just like, stop acting like that, like don't say those things or whatever, like basically would just ignore the fact that it was happening. And it's just, the whole thing is so horrible. It's like
and they wonder why they killed them.
I was like, I understand why they did it. Right. And also another thing that they were saying was because of the abuse starting at such a young age, they had like the mental state of like a 10-year-old as like adult guys. I want to say, I don't remember their exact age. I want to say they were like 19, 20, maybe something around that age, maybe a little bit younger, but because of all the abuse, they were like more thinking as like a 10-year-old or something, which explains like why they did everything the way that they did it, I guess. Like they tried to hide it and like pretend like it wasn't them. I don't know, but it's just.
I watched that documentary that we talked about last time about the 6-year-old from 1990.
Oh yeah, I was gonna look.
You should watch that. It's on YouTube. It's only Child of Rage. So it's Child of Rage. It's on YouTube for free. It's like 20 or 30 minutes. You should watch it, Claudia, because I feel like you would. If you,
I don't know, the Menendez case, we got to a point after he did this one monologue, which the acting is actually like, he deserves an award for this monologue that he did. But after that, I told Jesse, I was like, I really don't want to watch this anymore.
Well, this is a real interview. So they recorded the whole therapy session with the 6-year-old girl, really intelligent 6-year-old girl. But basically, when she was like 2 or 3, she has a little brother. When she was 2 or 3, she got sexually abused by her actual father.
That's sick.
And then she got adopted by a religious family when she was like 6. And she basically they had to lock her in her room because she would hide knives under her bed.
Oh my God, it literally sounds like a horror movie.
So she could kill her adopted parents and kill her little brother.
Ugh,
so she was like
terrible.
a little psychopath basically. But the family basically raised her from 6 up to like adulthood and were able to like transform her life basically.
Wow.
Because she was void of emotion because of the trauma that she went through when she was younger.
Sad.
And now as she got older, she wrote like 2 or 3 books and she became a nurse.
The things that people go through, like just had this girl on her podcast, which this episode is like, I feel like everyone should have to listen to this episode because me and Jesse listened to it on our drive home from New York. I think it's like 2 hours long, but it's basically this story about how this girl who she's incredibly well spoken and like so intelligent and tells her story so well, but her mom basically remarried and her stepdad was abusive towards her, like sexually. He tried to ask her to make porn with him. And at a young age, she ended up telling like her teacher at school or her counselor and basically got put in foster care. And she just went through so much with like her foster families, the fact that her stepdad abused her. Her mom knew that it was happening and her mom did nothing about it. It was like similar to the Menendez case, which obviously it's, she didn't end up murdering her parents, but the story is just so
sad. All these things.
Horrible. It's like I am literally like watching it and I'm like, I can't believe that she turned out so good after like going through all of that. Like she's just so well spoken and everything she says is just like, it's just really eye opening because then it kind of like
I feel like
perspective.
It either normally goes one of 2 ways where someone can come out of that in a way like that, where they want to tell their story, they want to help other people, they want to spread awareness, they find a way to grow from it, or a lot of people end up becoming abusers because of stuff they faced in their childhood.
Exactly.
It's all just awful and really sad.
Yep. Can we talk about something happier?
Yeah.
Like my 2 cats that I just adopted to make 13.
I can't believe you have 13 cats.
I can't either.
We have 13 cats.
I actually think you're at the point where you might have a problem. And you might need to seek some help.
The thing is they were going to take these 2 to the shelter and they would have been in cages. And I know the person and he said something to me about it.
I don't think
there's no way I could let that happen.
It's not a problem. It's just she likes saving animals and giving them a better life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at what point? What number is that number?
There is like, no, it's unlimited.
Infinity, as many as you can fit in your house.
Who cares?
So your house
it's her problem.
Right. It's not a problem.
Well, I'm saying if Brandon sees it as a problem, then it's your problem to deal with.
Right. Brandon, if you're ever stressed, you just take some allergy pills, come over to my house and sit down and let them just crawl all over you. And
that'll put Brandon into a coma.
I don't know if that will help me.
Yes, it will.
His throat will close.
No, I like your cats. I know I've been there and I was fine. It starts kicking in after an hour though.
My house is clean though. We just we're really weird about keeping it clean. And
I literally love my animals so much. I was telling this morning because she sent me a video. Basically, it's hurricaning in Tampa and surrounding areas, all in Florida.
Oh yeah.
And she sent me a video that someone had sent, or she got from someone, of the water levels in their house were halfway up the wall.
Oh, it's horrible.
And it's panning around the room, and then their cat is just sitting on this mound of stuff. And I'm like, we were both like, why the is the cat right there in the water?
It's
pick
upsetting.
your cat up and take it upstairs.
Right.
Why is it down there?
Right.
And I was like, if that was happening, all my cats would literally be strapped to my back somehow.
Same.
Mom, you would literally need a freaking giant sack.
That's all right. She'd take probably Dakota could handle 9 or 10 of them. I could take the rest.
No, I would literally strap them to my back. Jesse would get Rooster, and I would I can't believe people leave their animals behind when it's gonna hurricane.
I literally just feel like those types of people, they don't have pets for the same reasons we do. We all can agree that our animals are our life literal reason for
they're like children.
Beyond that though, it's just there's these innocent little souls that have made their way into your life and they just cohabitate with you, and it's such a beautiful thing because they're a different species from you. And I feel with cats especially, I don't know, there's just some sort of bond that you form that's they all every cat has such a unique personality. Every time we talk about this, I just look at Brandon and he looks like he wants to
No, but I feel like there's people that just don't make it a point to connect with their animals on like a deeper level. They just have them as like, oh, I like have an animal to pet sometimes, but like if you don't spend time with each one of them.
Yeah, as Brandon picks up.
Oh, there's a Murphy, Mr. Murphy.
He's like, let me go.
He said, "F you, bro.
Let me go."
He has something to say. What do you have to say?
He's literally so cute.
What you doing?
The way that I react, the way that my body reacts when there's something wrong with them or they're not feeling well or something, it literally like, that's just like, I imagine is a fraction of what a mother feels when their child is sick or something.
Yeah.
But like, I literally can't like function if there's something wrong with either of them. Like I think about it sometimes, like if like something happened to either of them like bad, you'd have to put me in a mental facility, and I'm not kidding. Like you'd have to keep me on watch.
I hope not.
Wait, so what are you guys gonna do when they get older?
I don't know.
Literally, the other day, given it was nighttime and sometimes at night, like, you know, when you're overtired and you just get emotional at things, I watched a TikTok and it was like, it was about a girl, and I guess like her cat got older and like
I hate watching those.
Passed away, and she wrote on it, like, it was like a picture, and she wrote like, "You changed my entire life," or something like that. And I literally started sobbing, and I went to hug Mose, and I was telling Jesse, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do when they're not here anymore.
Oh, stop.
Or like,
you're gonna make me cry right
especially
now.
Mose. I mean, like, obviously I love all my animals, and it's not that I favorite her, but I just feel like she's literally an extension of me, because she's like the first animal that I got, like, moving out of my
That's how I feel with
house.
Ruby.
And I'm like, you are
sucks.
literally a piece of me. And she like, she favorites me. She literally only loves me compared to everyone. I mean, she tolerates Jesse, but well, then I went to,
she dug her needle claw into me and made my finger bleed.
because you were taunting her.
You were telling me to do it.
Oh, there it goes. She screamed.
You were taunting her and getting her riled up.
Okay, I have a question. If the three of you had to choose one of your cats to fight in an all-out battle, which one
of course
would you
you're
choose?
gonna say that.
Which one would you choose, and then who would win?
I would choose Posey.
I would never send my child into
You
battle.
have to send out a gladiator.
Posey would dominate. She would
you would
literally
send out
take
Posey.
everyone
Mom,
down.
I'm curious to know who you would choose, because I know who I would choose for you.
I know who I'd choose for you too.
Arya would somebody up.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's a big
I was
one.
gonna say, I feel like Ren and Nola can.
Ren and Nola can well too, but
Ren and
Arya,
Nola-
man, she does not
listen.
take
Ren and Nola are literally like, they're all
bullies.
Talk. They're all talk.
Right.
Ren is a big,
Yeah, they're big.
Ren is a big baby. Arya's a street cat who knows how to fight.
So is Mose.
Exactly.
Who would you choose, Kennedy? I don't think you have much skin in the game.
No, both of mine do not know how to fight. I have literally the
they're
two
sweet.
sweetest cats ever. They just don't.
they are.
Don't have meanness inside of them, like whatsoever.
No, they would just submit and hiss
But
in the corner.
I would send Ruby because she's way smarter than Percy. Percy is not very bright.
Yeah, Percy has like 2 IQ.
Yeah.
I would send Mose, and I think she would really up. She can get angry, and she knows how to use her defense mechanisms. She will bite you.
I lived there for a month, and she still just did not warm up to me. And I've known her since she was a kitten.
When I was crying about the TikTok, I went to hug her, and she bit my cheek.
She's like, "Don't cry, bitch."
She's like, "Get the off me."
That's literally why I love her, though. Like, she's has such a. She just knows what she wants.
Yeah.
So Claude has the toughest cat.
Well, Mom might have. I mean, Arya's pretty tough.
She's a bitch.
Yeah.
Honestly,
got,
I feel like
scars.
Kit could
So
too.
much so Kit could no, Kit's really sweet.
Kit's more scared.
She was just in pain. She was in pain when we got her. But Arya, like, we can't even cut her nails. We have to take her into the vet to cut her nails. Her nails are like super long right now. I don't mess with her.
See,
you know how like you can, or I feel like I do this, categorize your life into like different eras or different like whatevers. I feel like the era of life that you're currently in and you've been in is your cat rescuing era, because you just keep finding new cats to save. And there's always
it's not that I'm finding them. They're coming my way. It's like I can't.
No, you look on those
Yes,
Facebook
they
pages.
are.
Facebook's sending them your way.
Yeah,
I did
you
not
do scroll.
that. Not on this one.
Facebook algorithm.
This one I didn't. This one I got a
send us
straight
them?
up phone call.
You send us screenshots of Facebook pages literally all the time.
That's different. I don't get them.
And she encourages it.
This one literally was a phone call. He called and said, hey, this is the situation. And I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah, because these people know that you can't say no.
I said, we can't. He goes, oh, I'm not calling to get you to take them. I'm just calling because I don't know what to do. Should we take them to a shelter? I said, you need to put a post on Facebook. So we did. And then I saw the post on Facebook. I'm like,
so it was a post.
Wait, you told him to put something on Facebook and then it convinced you once you saw it to, oh my God.
I said, you need to get some pictures of them. And then I saw the pictures and I'm like, damn it. And then he said that if they weren't like rehomed by Thursday, and it was like,
he was telling you that like he knew that you'd be like, oh, I'll just take them. He used some psychology on you.
It worked, whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if something's wrong with me. I have no urge to get an animal right now. It's
because you're a man.
That's because you're hyper focused on things. No, it's not why. He's just hyper focused.
You also are in a loving relationship, and anytime you feel lonely or whatever, you hang out with your beautiful, amazing girlfriend. So really, like, why would you need a pet?
He just pets Kate.
What about her?
Yeah, what about me? I'm in a loving relationship.
Yeah, but that's different because they're settling.
Claudia's just
don't tell people that.
No, she's right. Candy's right though. That's the reason. I feel like I have what I need.
No, that's not the reason.
I can't imagine you like an animal.
I have my reasoning for Claudia. It's literally just because women have so much empathy to give, and she's so maternal and very nurturing. Sometimes I just think about how I would describe you guys in a few words. And the other day I was thinking about it for Claudia, and I was like, one of them would definitely be nurturing, or like something nurturing, maternal, something like that, because I don't know. I've just always felt that with Claudia, and I feel like that's why I just see her I've always seen her having kids, and it just makes sense. But that's how she is with her animals too. She treats them like her children. And when I was there, and when I was going through a hard time, she really, really helped me and was a big part of why I healed, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. The day she got here was rough.
Yeah, very.
I was like, I don't know what to do.
Brandon, I feel like Brandon doesn't have pets because they want to be able to get up and go when they want.
Well, here's another thing. I think there's two types of people who have pets. Like when I see people outside like walking their dogs and stuff, or like whatever, I always have this thought where I feel like they bought the animal just so they could like feel like they're loved. So they buy, like, they want to have kids and animals and all different things so they can feel like they're loved by something.
I think that's fine.
There's also ones.
Well, I feel like a lot of people attach onto that, but then I think there's the other side where I feel like what you do, in a sense, Mom, is you're getting them because you genuinely want to help the animal.
I think some people also get pets, like, well, dogs, like when I used to see them walking down in the city, they would get them just to like be like an icebreaker to talk to people, because they know that like girls are going to come and go, oh, that's such
so
a
weird
cute dog. Yeah, I knew people that did that.
I
walked around the city.
Yeah. But also when most of the time when I see a man walking a dog, especially if it's two dogs, I'm like, yeah, he either is a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a wife, or a husband, someone. He's not single.
Yeah.
He's not taking care of those dogs.
When you see a guy walking dogs?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or they're a dog walker.
Yeah, or they could be. I met a dog walker in an elevator at Kate's apartment, and I thought it was his dog at first. He had two dogs with him or something.
That's it.
He's probably
and he was trying to jump on me. He's like, "Oh, sorry." He's like, "Do you know this little guy?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "I'm a dog walker, so here's my card. If you need your dog walked."
Okay,
I didn't even tell him I didn't have a dog.
Great.
He should have given me his card.
Yeah, he's hustling.
I don't understand why you would get a dog and then hire a dog walker. Somebody please make that make sense for me.
Because they want to be loved. All they want from the animal is love.
No, it's because there are a lot of people that work a job during the day, and they, you can't be someone who, just because you work a job, like, you don't get to have an animal. So it's like those people that have to go to work for, 9 to 5 during the day, they have someone come and
honestly, I think that's better than leaving them in a kennel all day long.
I mean, yeah, I guess I agree with that, but I just feel like it's selfish to get a pet. That's why, like, I also have an opinion about people having big dogs in apartments, like small apartments. Yeah. So I'm like, this dog needs a yard. This dog needs space to run around. How are you keeping this massive dog in a tiny apartment? And it's like, if you rescued it, yeah, that's great and stuff, but
yeah, but even
so, I think I agree with Kennedy on this one.
You do
if you're
agree?
gone all day,
I
I just feel like if you're gone all day, then you shouldn't have a pet.
Like, I
think my philosophy too is like the reason I wouldn't want to have one. Well, one of the many reasons is because I feel like I am busy and wouldn't get any attention. So,
well, then if you know that you're not going to give it attention, but if you were,
I'm saying
home,
if I'm older and like retired or something, then it might make sense to have one because I would have all this. Okay, I'm probably never going to retire.
You know when you're going to get one? You're going to get one when your first child wants one.
No, I'll be like, here's a stuffed animal.
No,
here's an AI dog.
No, you will do it.
Brandon's not going to get a dog, but he's going to have a child. Can you imagine him changing a diaper?
No, he'd probably
fine.
have
if it came down to it, I could. Here's the child thing. Here's the thing about the child thing.
Well, it's going to come down to it if you have a child.
A lot of people have children the same reason they buy an animal, because they want to be loved by it. The second reason is because you actually want to see the kid grow up and like flourish into a good, reasonable human being. And you want to go through that process of seeing them the same way when you had us.
I had children because I didn't want to be alone.
Okay, well there you go. Well, that's the first reason then, I guess.
Well, my reasoning would be because I feel like I just have so much love to give, and I know that
too.
That's the second reason.
I know that with my animals, like I love them literally so much that it hurts.
Right.
And then I know that when I have kids, it's gonna like open a whole new door of loving something.
Yes,
and
it
like
does.
I just have like, I just feel like some people have like that feeling inside, like women, where it's just like you would literally feel incomplete as a human if you did not have kids.
So do you think you do it? So let's say there's like a spectrum. Do you do it more so you can love things, or so they can love you?
I don't need to be loved. I just want to love my things.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think Claudia is one of the few people who would have kids not for any selfish reasons. Like, truly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have kids for very selfish reasons. Like they don't feel like they don't have a purpose, so they have children, or it's expected of them, so they have children, and they don't actually think about it. Too many people just don't think about things enough. And
well, I was thinking about this. That's a really easy way to gauge, like, are you raising your kid properly? Just think about it. Like, in this moment, am I wanting this kid because I'm missing something inside of me and I want to be loved, or do I genuinely want to love something else so it can grow into something as its own thing?
I will say, I had this moment the other day. I've been watching the show Good Girls, and there's one character who had a daughter when she was like 16 or whatever, and now she's in her late 20s and the daughter's like a teenager. And I was like, I had this brief moment where I was like, I imagined myself having a kid, and I was like, I know I could raise a good kid. Like, I don't have this intense urge, at least not now, and I never really had it to like have children or anything, but I've also never been in love. So it's like, I am aware also that people's brains change and my mind could change, whatever. I'm never say never. But I just had this moment of like, I know I could be a good mother, and I could genuinely raise such a good human, and I would be so supportive of them, and I just know I would do a good job.
I think you would too.
But I doesn't mean I would actually. Doesn't mean I necessarily want to.
Well, you might just not be ready yet. You're still super young.
That's another part. That's another reason I feel like is when you are with a partner and you love them so much,
you want to share something
you literally
together.
Want to like create a life together and have like a family.
Human nature.
Yeah, that's
because you love them so much.
And it changes too, because like it started that way, and then over time, it just, the love that you have for that child becomes something so much more than
Claudia, I have a question for
what you thought it would.
If you found out that Jesse had like, just suspend disbelief for a second. If you had found out that Jesse had all of these procedures done to make him look more attractive, and he was actually like, he had horrible, I knew Brandon was going to smile at this. And you had found out that he had like gotten a nose job and like all of these cosmetic procedures, would you be less, would you feel like, oh, we're gonna have kids and they're not gonna be attractive?
I'm sure that's happened with people.
It has.
I mean, I don't really know. Like, that's really a hard thing to say, because like I've seen his baby photos. Like I know he was like a cute baby.
Yeah, that's why
You know
I said
what I mean?
suspend disbelief. Just.
I mean, I would just hope that my genetics are strong enough.
Yeah.
You know what's sad? It's like when people would say, "Oh, that's an."
Also, that would be a whole other issue.
But they would say, like, "I hate this ugly baby." Like,
Who says that?
What?
people say. I've heard people like say, "I hate my kid."
I hate this ugly baby.
I hate my kid. It's ugly. I've heard people say that.
Yeah, people.
Literally,
I'm
then
like,
they
it's
should not have fucking
disgusting.
kids. It's sick.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And yeah, my youngest is the ugly one.
What's up?
I've heard this before from
I think it's
people.
kinda
when it comes to having
It's not
kids,
funny.
there's a constant battle in my head of like, why would I ever want to bring a human life into this f***ed up world with tons of evil people?
Right.
And then there's also the other side where it's like, but I could raise someone who's genuinely good, who inspires good in people and helps people. But then it's like, ugh, then I would love you love them so much, and then you're terrified of anything happening to them. That's so scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
But also, I also feel like I would literally give my life to protect them, and I know that I will protect them and like make them a smart human being that knows how to avoid trauma and danger and make sure they're educated on all the things and all the bad signs and all the red flags in people. And
but you can't try too hard or you'll chase them away.
Protecting isn't about necessarily being a helicopter parent. It's about just properly educating them so they can make their own decisions.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to have a kid that goes out into the world and every single thing they do, you got to be like, oh, let mommy do it.
And also
like mommy's got it. And then they can't do anything.
Treating them like they're their own person and not just an extension of you. Like just because you birthed this human doesn't mean that you get to decide every single thing that they like and they do and they think. Like let them grow into whatever they want to be.
I think that's important.
Options.
And that's important at a really young age, that like even like as low as like 2 years old, you know, giving them a toy and showing them something, but then letting them do things on their own. I remember poor Brandon. I kept you in from preschool because I was scared that the kids were going to like, I don't know, like you were just, you didn't like people.
You were scared I was going to get bullied.
You didn't like people in your space. And
Still don't.
and there was this one kid when you ended up going and you came home and so upset because of the sharing thing. You didn't understand why like he wouldn't share a toy, and I had to explain it to you and then tell the teacher and be like, can you just kind of watch over to make sure. And this is the whole reason of why I didn't want to send my kids to school so early, because they don't understand that.
Okay, but unpopular opinion maybe, but like I'm not going to teach my kids that they have to share, because you don't. If something is yours, it's yours. Why do you have to share it with all these random kids?
No, it could have been like a toy that was already there.
If it's like
the preschool,
I guess so. But like if something's theirs, I'm not going to be like, oh, you have to learn to share.
I think I would want a kid though who is gracious like that. Like I don't want to teach them to be selfish and greedy. Like just because something is yours, Like I don't want them to hold too much.
I don't share my stuff.
Material value over things. And yes, you do, Claudia.
You give away.
Yes, you do.
You give
to
away
my friends
so
and
much.
family, but I'm not like. I don't know.
But if you had no friends and family to give it to, you'd probably give it to Goodwill.
I think there's certain limits with everything, because it's the same thing as like when people tell their kids at a young age, like, oh, go give so-and-so a hug. Like if my kid doesn't want to hug someone, they don't have to hug someone.
Different.
That's weird.
Yeah, I completely agree with
different.
that. That's very different.
But also it's the same thing as when, okay, for example, school is a different story, but I feel like you take your kid to the park. A random kid comes up and tries taking my kid's toy. No, that is not your toy. That's my kid's toy.
Okay, you're getting angry about a kid that doesn't exist and a toy that doesn't exist.
Claudia's going to end up in a fight on the playground.
Yeah, your kid will be like the first one that grows up with social media. What age would you let them get on?
Oh, not until they're like...
I would say 16 to 18.
Yeah, like it is.
I would probably say adulthood.
I would say
honestly.
Once you get into high school, because I wouldn't want my kid to be like the odd one out that like doesn't have things, but I would be like very aware of what they're doing. It's just hard to say because
what about like a family only social media from 12 to 16, and then that helps you ease into the
there's a
adult
lot
one.
of
God, I was
like-
doing on my phone when I was like 12 that mom never knew about. I was a good kid, but I would do some weird stuff online.
Yeah, because parents didn't even know you could go on the internet on your phone.
Yeah, we would
They just thought it
discover
was
all
for
the weird
call people.
It
I
was
just
not
think
good.
that you can have like a plan that's fine, all well and good. But when it starts unfolding,
I agree.
You can't prepare yourself truly for what's going to happen in the moment because it all changes.
Well, I got a really good child raising strategy that each year they do a different dirty job. So like 2 years old, coal miner for a whole year.
Okay, Brandon.
3 years old.
Shut up.
3 years old, garbage man.
I'm just going to raise my kids on an Amish farm so they don't have access to the internet.
Dude, Amish people are awesome. I was at the farmer's market the other day. They were dropping off plants and pumpkins and all kinds of
They're nice.
Amish people are the hardest workers I've ever seen.
Yeah, literally.
They just work all day and they don't complain about anything.
No.
Yeah.
Like we went to an Amish farm. Remember we went to the Amish farm?
Yeah.
This guy was so nice.
So
he would show
freaking
us like
nice.
his animals and his
Literally
chickens.
was giving us like fresh potatoes, literally picking green beans and handing them to me like to take home.
That's because they're not on the internet.
Yeah,
They
you
have
know
like
what?
a simple life.
I think they're on the internet.
Are they?
just to sell things. They were just on the internet.
Yeah,
to
not
sell
social
things.
media.
And
If
they don't
it's a
even manage
form
it.
of
Somebody else
income.
does for them.
Like, well, there was a girl, she would cook on TikTok, like show all the things that she would like make homemade.
Amish girl?
I know who you're
Yeah, and she
talking
said
about.
that she said her community doesn't know that she posts, but like her parents do. So like, I guess just because it's basically like her innocently posting. But I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they probably have a lot less stress and negativity in their life. I'm sure they have. Everyone has their
definitely.
own, issues and things that cause them anxiety and whatever else. But I'm sure they have a lot less of it because they're not on the internet and they live in just
But I
their
think
small
also-
community.
It makes me wonder though, like I feel like they're probably happier and there's less depression and stuff, but they also have less individuality.
Yeah.
You know what I heard the other day? I don't know if this is true. In Japan, children that are young, under a certain age and younger, in school, they don't test them. They don't have tests or anything like that all the way up until they're a certain age. So everybody's treated very similar when they're younger, and they don't make them compete against each other and do different things all the way up until a certain age. I'm not sure where I heard that. Probably
That's smart.
TikTok.
Because I even remember when I was in like, oh God, 4th, 5th grade maybe. And like, I couldn't seem to grasp this one math class I was in. I think it was like maybe algebra or something. I was like in it for the first time and I just literally couldn't get it. And I feel like taking tests and getting your grades back and getting a bad grade on something just makes your confidence go down so much.
Right.
And then
And
you're
they
just
do
like,
that like so young.
yeah. And you're
here.
like, I'm just too stupid. Like I can't do it. And
Yeah.
then not only that, but I got held back in 2nd grade. So I already felt like a big dummy.
I feel like every time I did bad on a test, I just knew it was because I didn't care about it. And so I never even felt bad about doing bad because I was like, I don't care about this. I don't care that I did bad. This doesn't interest me. And I know this won't serve me in my life. And then I
never
graduated and
cared.
became a YouTuber. So
I think traditional tests aren't a good measurement of intelligence.
I
'cause
agree.
I think some kids get extremely anxious during test taking.
Also,
and
how about,
show
like-
what they actually know?
Yeah.
look at like lawyers. They go to law school. Or wait, no, before you get into law school, you have to take the LSAT, which is just like a huge, stressful, insane test where you have to like remember so much information. And like, yeah, to be a lawyer, you have to know a lot. You have to have a lot of things memorized. But like all these, I don't know, you have to do that. And then you take 3 years of law school and then you got to take the bar exam. So it's
How
like
about the freaking
it's tough.
NCLEX? The NCLEX that literally asked you the most random off the wall questions of things that some of those questions I was literally like, I've never heard of this in my life. I don't think I ever will hear of this. And the answers are so bizarre. And there's multiple right answers. And I'm like, how do these... I think when I took it, it was 60 questions because... Wait, I don't remember if it's normally 60 or if I had 60 because of COVID. They like lowered the number of questions so that you weren't in the testing center as long. And I'm like, how does this determine if I'm allowed to have a nursing license?
it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. But
What are you doing to him?
I'm really
just
wondering
gonna eat
what
the wire.
people like, what kids are even doing in school right now, since you can just look
over
everything
you.
up on GPT.
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
I would have done so well.
I am so grateful every day that I do not have to do any form of schoolwork. When I was having my whole nervous
Oh, it's
breakdown.
crazy, Kenny. You've never experienced college.
I know, thank
Like-
God
like-
for that. But I literally was thinking like
in terms of tests or like classes.
I
or
was
anything.
thinking about the
That's crazy.
possibility of doing like community college for something psychology just because I don't know. But then I was like, the idea of actually doing any work, granted, if it was psychology
just
related,
watch a bunch of YouTube videos and listen to podcasts.
yeah, but it's just different when you actually have like a incentive to like learn this information. But ultimately, yeah, it came down to that. I was like, if I really want to learn about this stuff, I can just listen to whatever.
I had some college.
And what, art?
Yeah. I took one in between like pregnancies or something like that one semester.
One class?
One semester.
Took one.
Like, is it semester?
I had some college. I took
That's
one.
what it's called, semester.
What do you learn in art school? Because isn't art something that you want to be as an
I
actual
have
person?
no
So
idea.
so what they were teaching us at that semester that I took was how to advertise like for a company and like make logos and stuff like that.
You know what? I do not believe in art school, because every art class I ever had, I was just like, first of all, I know all of this stuff already. I know how to draw a fucking eye. I don't think that there's a science
but
to
it. It's not about that. When you think of art school, it's like art school's got so many different like sections to it, and like, do you want to be a graphics designer, and do you want to do this and this and this, like advertising, marketing, designing things like it shows you an array of different choices that you can do, and then you choose to go which direction you wanted to go. But also I did the hardest test I've ever done in my life was the ACE exam, American Council on Exercise, when I was teaching aerobics. And I felt like, to me, I felt like I was in pre-med. I was learning about heart attacks and what to do when somebody fell.
That's hard, because they probably do teach you a lot of like what.
And let me tell you, I thought I was the dumbest ever from school, from how they made me feel, because I was horrible at test taking. And I actually did really well on this exam. So
well, I thought that I was so
it's something I
terrible
wanted to do.
because you told me, if you can't get good grades in school, then how do you think that you're going to even get through nursing school? And I was like,
So that motivated
I'm
you.
going to show you.
There you go. I motivated her.
Oh,
That's so mean.
I was shocked that she was doing that.
What do you think of the artist that recently sold an invisible sculpture for $1 million?
I think that's insane.
What? Was it just nothing?
not even.
I don't
what
even
is that?
understand what that even is.
What?
So everybody's
I
like,
didn't hear
oh, look at this.
An invisible
and it's nothing
sculpture
there.
for 1 billion.
$1 million.
I don't have these things on.
So
I can't
there is
hear
nothing
anything.
there. It doesn't even exist. What did they do? Create it with a magic wand?
Yeah, so it's just nothing sitting there.
It's basically an NFT.
Is that a lie?
Oh, so it's like online, like an
I don't
online
know.
thing?
I have no idea about this. Is there some kind of certificate, like an NFT or something?
No, I think it's just the fact that high art is fake.
That's stupid.
Or
An
if you-
invisible sculpture for $1 million. That doesn't even like.
I do have more of an appreciation for art than I used to. I used to think it was completely like I used to think fine art was completely useless, but now I see the value in something that somebody invested.
I don't know.
Hundreds
Even
and
as an
hundreds of hours
artist,
into.
Yeah.
as an
It's a lot.
artist, there's some like expensive art I look at and I'm just like, that doesn't make me feel anything. I don't understand. And then there'll be other
Yeah.
random artists I see on Instagram that create something like literally magical that I'm like, this should be $1 million. And it's just
Well,
like,
I think you're kind of
I
buying the
agree.
time that they invested into it. You're buying the story associated with their lives that makes it interesting. So
Can you see him,
yeah.
Kennedy? Sorry, Brandon.
What do you have to say?
He just wants to be in the podcast.
He's so cute.
He wants love.
He's so cute.
He's like, I don't care that you guys were filming. I'm having my love surge. Can we
How
talk
can
about
you not
the
like,
last time
love
that
him?
the last time we
know,
were
right?
filming in person together and the delivery men came in to drop
yeah.
off my
And we all
rug?
just
so
them.
weird.
We all
just-
just went.
They just saw us filming something, sitting there with microphones talking, and they were just like, all right, bye.
It was weird.
That can't be the weirdest thing they've walked in on.
No, probably not. I don't know.
They, I
you
just
think
think they
a
didn't
delivery
expect
man
it.
has ever walked in on like a mid?
How the have they? How would the door get open? They don't just walk in.
Well,
Okay, the other day,
some they film in like an open house with open windows.
No, I definitely know. When we were body painting, naked girls were like half naked girls were around the house, and the pizza guy or delivery whatever would open up the door, and then he'd look in and he'd be like,
Brandon, I have a funny story for you that I
like,
already
wave to the pizza
I
man.
already told Mom and Claudia this over text, but the other day I was leaving the grocery store and had a heavy bag of groceries in my hands, and I was wearing a jacket, like an oversized jacket that had a hood. Walking out the door, I get yanked back, and I literally go,
oh my God.
And my hood caught onto the door handle, literally right in front of me. There's people talking on a bench and someone walking. But this is the thing in New York. When something happens to you, nobody cares because they're so in their own world. I literally start laughing out loud, and I look around and I go, oh my God. I look around, nobody's paying attention, thankfully.
Really?
But
Or they did and they just acted like they weren't.
yeah, or they saw it and they was like, I don't give a but I was like, it was so dehumanizing. It literally felt like someone had grabbed my thing and yanked me back, but it was the fucking
What
door.
if they did?
What did it hook on? Was it like an automatic closing door or
No,
like the
it
handle
was
of the
it was
door?
like one of those like flimsy open drawer, like New York grocery store doors.
Kennedy has her dorky moments because like we were in the grocery store up here when she was staying here to get her prescription or whatever, and she goes out the indoor. No, you're going out the indoor. It's not opening. And she's just standing there. Instead of moving around, she's just standing there. I'm like, Kennedy, it's not going to open. She's just standing right at the door. I'm like, come on, let's go around.
I was leaving a TJ Maxx. This was when my social anxiety was really bad before pre-medication. I think I was like 17 or 18. I'm leaving a TJ Maxx and I do the same thing where I'm going out the indoor and it's not opening. So my solution was to sit there and pry it open until it opens.
Because she'd rather not walk back and look stupid, so she'd rather just look stupider opening.
Like you're in too deep.
Because now I can. Yesterday I went to a new Trader Joe's because I was out and I was like, I saw one that was close by, so I was like, I'm just gonna go, and it was really confusing. In like the back of this, you like go down these steps. It was like a part of a shopping center that had all these like food places, which is actually really cool. And Brandon, I want to take you there next time you visit me because you would like it. But like I walk in this building and then I'm like, where is it? And then I walk out and there's a guy washing the windows and I'm like, oh, he can see me walking in and out. I walk in and out like 3 times because I'm so confused. I almost ask him, how do you get to the Trader Joe's? But I'm like, I'm going to figure this out myself because I have a feeling it's a really stupid answer and it's right in front of my face. And sure enough, I go downstairs and I still get lost and I'm still looking for it. And then I ended up finding it. But I was just like, the way that I handle things now versus how I did when I was like 18 is very, very different. Because now it's just like, instead of feeling stupid, just own the fact that you don't know what's going on and figure it out. Like,
I mean, yeah, if you're new to a place, you're not going to know where anything is.
Exactly.
It's also not a bad thing to ask people. But then again, I have some people, I'll be walking on the side of like a busy road and somebody will stop. This happens to me multiple times in Towson for some reason. Somebody will stop and it'll be like a really old guy who'd be like, son, do you know where the hospital is? Or like something random. Or like, do you know where because there's a lot of the like court things.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Do you know where the circuit court is? I'm like, I don't know. Just drive that way, I guess. But I don't understand. Do older people just not use GPS? Are they winging it? Are they looking at a map before they leave and try to memorize it?
That's what they
and
used to
then
do.
just
So
go?
yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, they
Dude,
probably
older
don't.
people-
Directions feels weird to me nowadays.
Older people
Dude,
literally
Dad
have-
doesn't use GPS.
That's crazy.
Older people literally have zero social anxiety in their bodies. They're constantly like in survival mode as it is, just to like make it through each day. They're like, and that's one part of getting older that I cannot wait for, is just for all my social anxiety and all my giving a about how society perceives me to just leave my body. Like, I just want to be free.
Well, think about all the time you waste just having anxiety and thinking about the same on repeat. Old people at that point are just like, and man, there's not much left. Let's just do it now.
Anyone with anxiety can also agree that you get anxiety about all the anxiety you're having, because then you're like, oh, I'm missing out and I'm putting myself through all this stress for no reason, but I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah. See, that's the benefit of getting really old.
Still not looking forward to that.
I don't want to.
I'm gonna freeze right now. Freeze where I am.
Well, so what's wrong with getting old? What's the biggest fear?
Your body starts to ache more and more, which I'm trying to take care of. With
that's gonna suck
all the
for me because
vitamins and
I'm already constantly aching everywhere. So
Yeah, it starts happening already.
yeah, my neck is never normal ever since the procedure that I had.
Mine's never normal. Nothing's even happened to it.
Like I could
You
sleep.
ache too?
Yeah, Jesse was like rubbing my knots out of my neck, and he was like, "What the f?"
Yeah,
like, I
she
have like
follows
so many
me.
knots.
But I have little tricks that you could do now since you don't have surgery. That I can help you if you
I
let
just
me.
make Jesse dig his big thumbs in them.
Yes,
the knots
but there's
in my
other
neck.
things you can do. So
I
talk
do
about
bar.
that later.
That helps.
Yeah, it's all posture. It's all a posture thing. But that's one. That's terrible. And then obviously looks is another. But it's kind of fun keeping up with it in a way. If you have money to do that. A lot of things cost a lot of money.
Kind of fun.
Or you barter.
But what about all the good things that come with it? Mom,
the
You're the only
let me ask
person
you this,
that
Mom.
would be able to do
Let me
that.
ask you this. What are the good things that come with getting older? Let's see if you can...
The good things. Wiser.
Wiser.
Barter with
else?
what, Mom? The devil?
No, with my services, makeup and stuff.
Or you barter with the devil? That's like literally what it sounded like you were going to say.
No.
Yeah, tell us about the deals you made with the devil to look so young.
It's not. It's bartering. It's just like, I couldn't afford this. People think that I could afford this. Like I would never be able to keep up with that. I, advertise for people and I do their makeup and stuff like that, or whatever I have to do. I figured it out throughout the years. Now I have to pay for some things, but it's still
so what are the other good things?
I can't think of any.
You said just wisdom?
Wisdom is really big, isn't it? That covers a lot. Huh?
I don't think that many old people are super wise.
Oh, they're extremely wise.
I feel like there's a lot of older people that if you sit down and ask them about life, they'll have a lot of really interesting things to say.
Advice.
Mom,
Yeah.
I have a question for you. If you had to choose out of the three of us who you think has lived the most lives in this universe, who would it be?
I think it's Kennedy.
I agree.
It's definitely not
And then Brandon.
What?
And then you. Yeah. And that's not a cut down or anything. Why
No,
are you
it's
saying
not.
what the It's not a bad thing. It's just
I definitely think I'm wiser than Brandon.
I didn't say wiser.
It's not even about being wiser.
Did not say wiser. Living many lives is completely different than being wise. She's just saying how many times do I think that you guys have come back over and over and over and repeated this
But
over and over again.
I think a huge part of it is my spirituality and how spiritual I am.
And Brandon's very spiritual too. But I feel like
I'm just the devil.
I just feel like people who have to, this is going to sound so weird. It's people who have to go through a struggle internally, like with their bodies, and have to get through that because it is so difficult to do, that they've been here so many times before. And it's just one of those things
What
that they have to
struggle
just
has he
get
had to
through
go
too.
through?
That's what I'm saying. That's why she's first as far as that goes.
Saying not.
This
And-
man, he
Wait, I'm confused. What does going through a struggle
I don't
have,
know.
to
She
means,
do,
like,
have to do with living multiple lives?
I don't know. I just feel like
they're not even correlated.
I'm confused. What does living multiple lives look like? What's a personality trait of it?
Yeah,
I mean,
literally.
you're acting like I'm an expert at this. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying it from
Mom,
like
she's just saying her gut. She's just saying her gut feeling.
my gut feeling on this.
See,
Yeah,
Brandon-
no
Okay,
expert.
Have you ever
Brandon,
seen?
you-
Have you ever seen Dune?
Brandon,
Listen,
you
have you
would
ever seen Dune? Hold on. Have you ever seen Dune?
No, not all the way through.
Okay. Well, there's these.
why do you talk about this show or movie
Listen,
so much?
I'm giving an example here. There's these characters in Dune who basically take in the memory of the entire civilization, and they're like known as the wisest people. They're also pretty mentally insane. So,
Okay, so
are you
what are you
saying there's a
saying?
correlation there?
I mean, I'm not the one who used Dune as an example. You did.
Listen.
So you're saying
Well,
it.
that's this taken to the
What?
extreme.
No, I agree. I just think that there's a strong correlation between how creative you are, how mentally ill you are, and how many lives you've lived.
Yeah.
And maybe that's
Yeah,
all
I mean,
just
I
coming
just-
down to mental illness. But that's okay.
I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, maybe there is some
I
correlation
just
to that. I
feel
don't
like
know.
I've always been very sure of who I am and very confident in my values. Me and Brandon had this really, really long talk when we went on a hike right before the day I left and came back to New York, and I was feeling all of these things, and I was like, had so much uncertainty in my body about everything. And I feel like that conversation just stuck in my head so much, and every time we have these like deep talks, I learn even more about myself. And I just feel like I've always always known who I was, who I am at my core, and what is meant for me, and that like the universe will bring me whatever is meant for me. I feel like I've always known that.
I think everybody should feel that way about themselves.
I do too.
Or try to, or make that a goal.
I agree.
To do that, like all of it. What's your purpose? Why are you here?
I don't think, but I think the whole "what's your purpose" conversation is like, I feel like it's a good thing to sometimes to be like, I don't have a purpose, and that's okay. Like sometimes you're gonna feel like
I think your purpose will come out later.
I think
you'll
that
figure it out.
also you can have a purpose for a week and then it might shift, and then you could have a purpose for 5 years or 20 years. Like it's not as important as people make it out to be. Like you don't need to come into this world, figure out your purpose, and then stick to that your entire life. That's just not what life is to me.
Okay, we'll just end on this. This isn't even a question. I just saw this, and I think it's a great thing to end on and say to you guys. So here we go. Hi, Walsh World.
Oh.
I wanted to write, part of this is kind of sad, but hi, Walsh World. I wanted to write in to say that I watched the podcast, and Brandon reminds me of my older brother who passed away in 2023. He was 29, close in age to Brandon. It's comforting to watch the sibling and family dynamic with you guys. It reminds me of my siblings and our bond. My brother would ask crazy, deep questions and bring up scenarios the way Brandon does, and that's how I see them to be similar. Maybe that's just the older brother mindset, LOL. Knowing how to push the right buttons but still be loving. Anyway, I love listening to the podcast. Wishing you all an amazing fall holiday season with love and light. XOXO K.
Aww. That made me
Kay.
tear up.
I know,
that's literally
really
beautiful.
Sad.
Yeah.
That just made me tear up.
We're so sorry that you lost your brother.
When we were at the Gymshark event, and I forget who it was, someone came up to me and Claudia, and they said something like how they love the family stuff. And they're like, do you guys actually hate each other? And we were like,
I know.
No.
I was like,
what?
No.
How would they get that?
I don't know.
Unless they were watching
I guess because we used to
YouTube
argue in like
ones.
the videos.
Yeah, I think in old videos we would just argue a lot.
Yeah, the YouTube stuff.
Listen.
That was the reason people watched, though.
Yeah, and also I forget that like not everyone's like that with their family, because it's so normal for us to like that. This is why we have such a bond, is because we can truly say whatever and have no filter with each other and know that we fully love each other. And when you have that connection with your family where you can joke around and them, and like we all have dark senses of humor too, so it's like we like to each other. That's like it's fun. It's part of like sibling bonding, and not everyone understands that, and not everyone gets it, because not everyone's like that with their siblings. But like I wouldn't change anything about our relationship. Even you guys bullying me when I was younger. I bought chocolate with cornflakes in it yesterday, and as I was looking at it, I remembered that you guys used to call me cornflakes because of my psoriasis.
We did.
Oh my God.
That's not that bad of a name. It's kind of...
I thought that was kids at school, not them.
Yeah, I don't remember calling you that.
No. You definitely did. And then another kid at school asked me if I had birdseed in my hair.
I thought it was oatmeal.
The only thing I remember is the skin mole thing. Yeah. But we all had moles, though. I don't know.
I think moles are beautiful.
Kenny was just an easy target because she was younger.
Listen, I understand that I was an easy target. I probably would have with me too. Because when I look back at old pictures of myself, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, if there was little Kennedy standing at a door and she was on the wrong side of it and it wasn't opening and I saw her prying it open, younger me would have had to have said something mean in that moment.
That's the thing though, is you guys tease me for things like that, but like you would never actually do anything mean, and you always, Brandon always stood up for me. I feel like Claudia went through a phase where I was just like literally terrified of you. But I don't know.
Why?
Because you were scary. You were literally like a scary rat. Yeah.
Part of it is like a weird loving thing.
Yeah.
Like it's like surface level. It's like surface level bullying or something. I don't know. But if it wasn't there, it wouldn't be the same. Because what would we do otherwise? Just be like, oh, you're so amazing.
Or not talk to each other.
Yeah, and also it's like when you can talk to each other like that, it's like I think there is a psychological thing with family where you feel like you can like be mean and tease them and stuff, and you know they can't leave, especially when you're kids. It's like you're always around them. You're bound to get irritated with your siblings. It's literally part of it. And then as we got older and we became more similar and more mature and became our own people, we all got really, really close and all genuinely like spending time with each other. Like, I feel like you guys are my favorite people to spend time with because I feel 100% authentically myself, and I feel like I don't have to.
100%.
And I feel like I don't have to. I feel like I don't have to mask any part of myself, and it's just so easy. And like we actually just know each other, and I'm just genuinely so grateful for that.
I know you're really a psychopath under that mask you're wearing. I can see it.
And even if I was, you'd still be my brother.
What's in that closet behind you? How many bodies you got in that closet?
Literally like 50 dresses.
That you stole from people, stole from bodies.
No.
Brandon,
What?
it's dark. It's just dark.
Bye.
No, I have one more thing. Have you ever had cacao nibs?
Brayden, we already talked about this.
What did he just say?
Have you ever had cacao nibs? He literally asked me this when he walked in the door.
I ate a whole handful of them. They give you more energy than coffee.
Really?
I think they have more caffeine.
Really?
Than
Oh, they have
coffee.
caffeine in them?
Yeah, they have a lot of caffeine. Yeah, chocolate has caffeine.
I
But if
didn't
you
know
eat
that.
the pure
I
cacao
don't even know
nib,
what they are.
Yeah, it actually like
Did it taste good?
what? Oh no, it's extremely bitter, but
Ew.
it has no sugar,
that was
and then
a-
it's all like the benefits of chocolate. Huh? What?
I think I used to. I think I've seen people on YouTube like who would make drinks with like cacao powder, like for energy. Or like
Yeah. So you can get the powder. These are nibs. These are nibs.
I know what they
They're
are.
like little broken off pieces.
Yeah, I would probably say nibs.
I've
is
seen
the best
people with
form.
them in like acai bowls,
It's the best.
oatmeal bowls.
But
Okay, and
they
on
are-
that note,
I'll let
bye,
you try
everyone.
them. I have some more in my car. I'll let you guys try them before I leave.
So you just carry your cacao nibs around?
Well, I ordered cacao nibs. I ordered a seed mix with 7 seeds. It looks like
Brandon
bird
always
seed,
keeps
but it's
his
like
nibs
the most
on him.
nutrient dense thing ever. And I ordered a dry fruit blend that has
So you're
Brandon,
basically
I
like
just-
a rabbit.
He's
I
turning
just
into a
know-
bird.
When you are like 50, you're going to be the most annoying motherfucker when it comes to health and fitness stuff. You're going to be like constantly trying something new. You're just going to be what you are now times like
He
50.
already is.
It's fun.
It is fun.
I know.
It's fun. I like figuring out, like, I think it's so interesting that you can get like a fruit or vegetable or whatever from anywhere in the world now. It can just get shipped here, and then you can research like which ones are the most nutrient dense and then eat those. I don't know, it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's cool. And
Yeah.
eating is like the major thing that people do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you might as well experiment with it and
Eating is
have fun
life.
doing it.
Yep.
I just want to see if I
Eating
can
is
find
life.
good tomatoes somewhere online.
Tomatoes online.
Yeah, because like
Oh, I was
there's
looking
no
for
ripe
this.
tomatoes.
No, I was looking for this. You can get subscription boxes for vegetables.
I
and
used
they
to do
come
that,
from
but they would come and like they would get
regenerative-
rotten within a day, and it was gross.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then
Well, they
you would
come
know
from
at least
real
they're fresh.
like regenerative farms, and they're not made with any kind of pesticides or chemicals or anything.
I just want
I was
some
gonna
good
say, yeah.
tomatoes.
No, Claudia, go to the farmer's market. They have them there.
Yes, but they stopped putting them out after a while because they're not in season anymore. I don't even know if they have them right
They
now.
do have them right now.
They still do? Are you sure? Because I didn't see them today.
Really?
No. Oh, the one near John Brown.
I was looking
or
from the
Brown
street as I
whatever
drove
the fuck it's
by.
called. I'm gonna go there.
Every time I
today.
ride by, I see them, but
I
I
just
haven't
want
ri-
good
I haven't rode by today.
tomatoes.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening or watching or whatever you're doing.
Bye.
Hopefully, it's not dreary and rainy where you live, like it is here.
Oh yeah.